Hey everyone, Josh here from Neighborhood Car Reviews, and today I'm inside this 2020 Lincoln Aviator. Today's video we're going to show some of the interior design elements that I really like. Alright, and for the interior, we're going to start off in the second row seat. First things first, I like about the design of it is the wide opening second door or rear door. And I like the fit and finish of the materials. Very much in line with the rest of the Lincoln vehicles. It is a nice soft touch vinyl material in the Reserve. If you get the up level with the leather, that would all be leather. But this still has a very nice feel, a very high quality to the grain. You've also got some accent stitching. A different pattern on the second color of the vinyl. It's really well done with French stitching. Of course, you do have electric door releases, piano black trim, the Revel speakers, which in the black label and the premium Revel Ultima system is going to be a little bit different speaker grille. Piano black trim continues back here, which is a nice touch. Nice deep molded pockets with the nice cup holder. And of course, all Aviators come standard with captain chairs. You can order a bench seat as an option. It is a no-cost option in the Aviator. Perforated leather on all the seats, including the third row, which right now is folded. I like the fold-down center armrest to actually move it out of the way. It's a small touch, but it is a very nice touch indeed. One other thing I really like is the easy entry to the third row just by pressing this button. And the seat just basically folds and moves out of the way. As you can see, it is folded right now. The dealership does have like the all-weather floor mats and stuff like that, so we're just going to leave these seats folded for now. But rear seat passengers, third row passengers have their own positional air vents. You've also got some cup holders, overhead illumination. Overall, just a very nice area, even in the third row. And this vehicle does not have the full console, so you just have the floor console with cup holders. They are chrome bezeled, some storage. And the rear console is probably one of my favorite things in the rear seat of the vehicle. It does have a piano black bezel, a small LCD display screen with a bunch of different menu items. One other thing I like about the Aviator, probably most of all, inside are these little vents. They mirror the front vents, and they have a real nice, positive, almost dampened feel to them as you move them. USB, USB-C power points, as well as 110 volt, 150 watt household style AC outlet. Very nice touch. Of course, you got seat back mat pockets. That's another nice touch. Overhead, LED illumination, pretty standard. Here's what I like about this LCD monitor. You have your controls here for your seats. Rear seats as standard equipment come with heaters, so 3-stage heated seats or ventilated seats. You can also fully control your climate control as a third row climate or second row climate. You can sync to the first. You can even do third row, adjust their temperature and their fan speed. You can also sync the two together. And the third one is audio, so you can just do your audio selection from the second row seat. Very nice. And your settings. You can turn on and off your display. You can change your brightness. And you can also do the calm screen, which just basically shows the time flying through a sky, filling in the theme for the Aviator flight theming. And that's about it for the back seat. Now let's take a look at the front seat. Again, door treatment, very nice and upscale. This vehicle does not have the perfect position seats, but if they did, those seat controls would be here as well. You do have your lumbar support. You've also got 3 driver memory. All your controls for your power is all inside a very nice gloss black piano trim bezel. Again, electric door release. One thing I do really like about the new Lincolns is this pull 2 times to open the hood instead of fiddling for a hood latch. You pull that twice and it unlatches the hood for you and you just lift it up. I also like Ford's redesigned light cluster here, or light controls. It's more of a toggle switch and it's a nice chrome plated feel to it, so it's got a nice positive feel with a high quality material. Panel dimness, of course. Pretty much a carryover part from many years. Here is the front air vents. Just a very nice dampened, almost Bentley-esque feel to the vents. Even sliding the louvers back and forth is a real high quality feeling. This vehicle does not have the leather dash, although it's quite the ringer for leather, with a very nice padded vinyl. Of course, you have accent stitching, and across the binnacle you do have the same deeper grain as you do on the doors. I like this brushed satin aluminum trim as well. Alright, while it's not the perfect position seat, the seats are still very, very comfortable. Very nice attention to detail in the stitching here. You got perforations in the middle for the ventilation and heating controls. You also got tilt and high adjustable head restraints. Overall, the seats are very, very comfortable in the Aviator. They're pretty much standard as you would see in the Continental as well. You've got a nice wide center console. Borrowing from the Navigator is the piano key shifters. The satin brush trim continues in the center console as well. We'll go over all this here in just a moment. Alright, before we actually get started on the inside along the dashboard and everything, we're going to focus on one of the interior treatments I really like, and that is the alert chimes. Lincoln actually hired the Detroit Symphony Orchestra to record the alert chimes in the Aviator. So you've got various different chimes for various different alert warnings. All of them are unique. So you can go ahead and take a listen here. Alright, moving in. We are at the driver's seat now. Overall, it looks very similar to that of the Navigator. A little bit different in some of the styling. But you can see some of the similarities here. Again, these vents continue. I just absolutely love these vents for some reason. I'm not sure why. Say before, you do have your piano key transmission selector that's carried over from the Navigator, and I expect to see that in future Lincoln vehicles as time progresses. You got your audio controls here. Down here you have your climate controls. I really like this because the lighting is actually crisp and clear. You can see it even in the brightest daylight. It's all LED backlit. All your climate controls, heated steering wheel, your temperature controls, heated and ventilated seat controls. Pretty much everything you want to do is actually a hard button with you can adjust your menu, your rear air controls, all that kind of stuff, which is really, really nice. Just being able to have that physical button instead of having to go into a touch screen. Another thing I really like is the temperature displays for the driver and front passenger. It's actually a very crisp LCD screen. Instead of having like a old 70s and 80s style digit, it actually is a very nice rounded sans serif font that just looks really, really nice. Of course, that action is also mirrored on your 10-inch touchscreen. Center console has this really nice dark aluminum brushed gunmetal feel to it. Roll tops for, you got some storage here and your USB ports, USB, USB-C, and I got the key here, but this one here just houses your cup holders. But it's actually really nice to have all of that covered up. Just gives it a really nice finish. Very simple to use drive mode selector. Ten-inch touchscreen display is a really nice touch in the Aviator. It's pretty responsive, although there is some lag, so it's not as responsive as you would see in like probably like a Mercedes or anything like that. You know, Audi, they're much more responsive touchscreen. This has a few seconds lag, but honestly, for the system, it's actually really nice. It is the Sync 3 system. So it does support Apple CarPlay, Google Android Auto. Hitting the home button brings you into the home screen. You have several apps for connecting your Bluetooth device and all that kind of stuff. Your settings screen is actually a little bit more in depth, where you have your sound, audio, Bluetooth control, driver assistance, Lincoln Way, Android Auto, CarPlay, all that kind of stuff, navigation setups, driver seat, passenger seat settings for the lumbar. So you can adjust the lumbar support here just by... It's a really nice animation too that shows the seats. If you had the perfect position seat, that would also show your multi-contour massage, as well as your several different other lumbar adjusts. Set personal profiles. You get your ambient lights. Select what you want, and you can select how bright and dim you want. And these are all programmed by the My Key. So if you have several different keys programmed, each key will have its own settings programmed automatically. Your start-stop button is up on this little shelf pinnacle here. Alright, let's look at the steering wheel. One thing I really like, right at hand of your thumb, if you're driving like this, your voice control button is right at hand, so you don't have to fiddle with it. It's right there. Very, very nice touch. It looks a little odd to begin with, but it's actually a very clever position for that. Simple audio controls here. Seek and scan, of course, your volume up and down. One thing I really love is your cruise control buttons are actually right here. However, they're not illuminated until you actually activate the cruise control. And that just makes your steering wheel a lot more of a simple environment, which is really, really nice. And these are actually up and down, and you can see they actually remap as you select your positions. You can also hit home, and that'll bring you back to the home screen. So you've got your navigation menu here. You got your audio, you got your settings, as well as your phone controls, and then this is your main menu. And that brings us to the LCD cluster. So you see you have different settings, and these are all correlated with the steering wheel controls. Calm screen is basically nothing more than just a very simplified, no information except for your main gauges. Up here is where the heads-up display would be if you had that optionally. That's a nice little feature there. Another design element that I like in the interior is these lights here. They are just a simple touch on the light. We'll turn them on and off. Very similar to the Jaguar Touch that was introduced in the XJs. And then of course you have your sunroof control. Everything is piano black, which is also a very nice touch. So overall, the interior of the Aviator is a very, very nice place to be. Very smartly styled, very nicely designed. Alright, and this does conclude this video. If you liked it and would like to see more like it, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhood car reviews. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.